So our first lesson today is going to be on solving one-step and two-step equations. So I'm going to go over a bunch of example problems for you. So this first problem, first thing we want to look at is what is going on in the problem. So it's x minus 16 equals negative 30. So in order to solve this problem, we need to undo the minus 16. So we need to do the inverse operation, which is add 16 to both sides of the equation. So negative 16 plus 16, those will cancel out. So we're just left with x on that side. Now on the other side, we have a negative 30 plus 16. So we have different signs here, so we have to think about this. So we have more negatives than we do positives because we have negative 30. So our answer here is going to be a negative. And then we're going to subtract 30 minus 16, which is 14. So that is our final answer. Okay, so this next problem, we have x plus 17 equals 20. So in order to undo the plus 17, we need to subtract 17 from both sides. Now 17 minus 17 will cancel out. So we're just left with x on this side. And then 20 minus 17 is 3. So x equals 3 is our final answer. Okay, now we have a multiplication problem. So this is negative 9k, which means negative 9 times k equals 72. So in order to undo multiplication, we do division. So we're going to divide by negative 9 on both sides of the equation. Now these are going to cancel out. So we're left with k. And now we have a positive divided by a negative. So a positive divided by a negative is a negative, and 72 divided by 9 is 8. So that is our final answer. Okay, so now our variable is on the right-hand side of the equation, but that's okay. We still solve it the exact same way. So let's look at what's going on with the variable. So the variable m is being divided by 15. So in order to undo division, we multiply by 15 on both sides. So these will cancel. So then we have 15 times negative 11 is negative 165, and that is equal to m. So that is our final answer. Okay, so now let's look at some two-step equations. So in order to solve a two-step equation, we have to undo the operations that are happening to the variable. So let's look at this. So we have 2 minus 3r equals 38. So in order to undo this, we need to first subtract 2 from both sides. Now 2 minus 2 is 0. So now be careful here because that minus sign actually turns into a negative 3r. Don't forget to bring that down. And then we have negative 3r, 38 minus 2 is 36. Divide by negative 3 on both sides. These will cancel. 36 divided by negative 3. Positive divided by negative is going to be negative, and that is 12. So that is our final answer. Okay, let's try this one. So we have negative 3 times n minus 9 equals negative 51. So the first thing we want to do is move the, get rid of the minus 9 by adding 9 to both sides. So then we're left with negative 3n. Okay, we need to be careful here because this is negative. We have more negatives because we have negative 51 plus 9. So our final answer will be negative. And then 51 minus 9 is 42. Okay, now we have -3 times n. So to undo the multiplication, we're going to divide by -3. So we cross these out and we get n equals, so negative divided by negative is going to be positive. And then 42 divided by 3 is 14. So that is our final answer. Okay, again, the variable is on the right-hand side, but that's okay. We still work the problem the same exact way. So we have 13 equals 3 plus x divided by 2. So the first thing we want to do is subtract 3 from both sides. That will cancel these out. 13 minus 3 is 10. And then we're left with x divided by 2. So x divided by 2, to undo division, we multiply by 2. These cancel. 2 times 10 is 20. And that is equal to x. And that is our final answer. Okay, so the last problem. So this one's kind of a unique problem because we have the first thing that's being done to the variable is it's being added to 8, and then we're dividing by 2. So the first thing we actually want to undo here is the division by 2. And so to undo the division by 2, we have to multiply by 2 on both sides. So we have a plus 8 equals -4. And then we have just a plus 8. So to undo the plus 8, we subtract 8 from both sides. These are going to cancel. So we have a is equal to, okay, so now look at this. We have -4 and we have -8. So we have two negatives. So our answer is going to be negative. And then we add the two numbers together. So 8 plus 4 is 12. And that is how you solve 1- and 2-step equations.